Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you found your way here tonight to this quiet space in this sanctuary for rest. Before we begin our story, take a moment to settle in, to let the weight of the day fall away from your shoulders. Find a comfortable position and allow your body to feel heavy and relaxed. I invite you to leave a comment if you feel moved to do so, letting us know where in the world you are listening from tonight and what time it is for you. It's a beautiful thing to imagine us all, a quiet community, settling down to rest together under different skies. Tonight, our story is about you. It is a journey back in time to a place of warmth, of light, and of deep inner strength. There is nothing for you to do now but to breathe and to listen and to allow my voice to be a gentle guide as you drift. Close your eyes and let the world outside fade away. You are here, in the soft warmth of the evening. The air in your lungs is sweet with the scent of jasmine and the rich, dark earth, a scent you have known your entire life. It is the smell of home. Your skin glows in the low amber light of the setting sun, a deep, rich brown, like the fertile soil that nourishes your people. You are sitting on a woven mat, its reeds smooth and cool against your legs, just outside your family's compound. You are the daughter of the chief, a title that carries not a weight, but a warmth, a sense of belonging that settles deep within your bones. It means you are a daughter to everyone in the village, and they, in turn, are your family. From where you sit, you can hear the gentle, rhythmic thud of yams being pounded into fufu for the evening meal, a sound as constant and comforting as a heartbeat. It's a sound that says, all is well, you are safe, you are home. Laughter, soft and easy, drifts over from the stream where some of the younger children are having their final splash of the day, their joyous shrieks softened by the distance. Your father, the chief, is sitting not far from you, his back straight and strong against the carved wood of his stool. He is speaking with the elders, his voice a low, resonant hum, a sound that has been the bedrock of your world for as long as you can remember. You don't need to hear the words to understand their meaning. They speak of the harvest, of the rains, of the naming ceremony for a new baby born just 3 days ago. They speak of the continuity of your people, a line stretching back further than anyone can count. A river of life, flowing, always flowing. You trace a pattern with your finger on the woven mat, a spiral, the symbol for growth, for eternity. Your mother taught you how to see the patterns in everything, in the swirl of a snail's shell, in the unfurling of a fern frond, in the way the smoke from the cooking fires dances and curls up into the twilight sky. She said that the spirits speak in these patterns. You only have to be quiet enough to see them. And you are quiet now, so very quiet, feeling the last rays of the sun on your eyelids. The air begins to cool, a gentle caress on your arms and cheeks. The scent of wood smoke grows stronger, mingling with the aroma of simmering goat stew, rich with peppers and ground nuts. Your stomach gives a soft rumble of anticipation. Your mother's voice calls your name, a melody, soft and clear. Amina, it is time. You rise, the movement fluid and graceful, your bare feet making no sound on the packed earth. You walk towards the cooking hut, the heart of your home. Inside, the fire casts dancing shadows on the clay walls. Your mother is stirring the large pot, her face serene in the flickering light. She smiles at you, a smile that holds all the love and safety in the world. She hands you a stack of clay bowls, still warm from the sun where they were left to dry. Your task is to distribute the bowls, a simple, familiar ritual. You move through the compound, from your uncle's hut to your grandmother's, placing a bowl in the hands of each person. You receive smiles, soft touches on your arm, murmured blessings. You are a part of this, a vital, loved part of this intricate, beautiful web of family. This is the rhythm of your life, predictable, peaceful, and deeply, profoundly safe. Every day is a thread in a beautiful cloth, woven with the same colors of sunrise, community, and evening peace. You know your place in the world. You know who you are. You are Amina, daughter of the chief, cherished, beloved, and at peace. You feel a deep sense of contentment settle over you, as heavy and as comforting as your favorite sleeping blanket. There is nowhere else you would rather be, nothing more you could ever want than this, right here, right now, in the gentle embrace of your home. The evening meal is a shared joy, a time of communion. You sit with your family, the warm, soft fufu yielding in your fingers, the rich stew a delightful fire on your tongue. The elders tell stories, not grand heroic tales, but quiet stories of the land, of the clever tortoise, of the mischievous monkey, of the spirits that live in the great Iroko tree at the edge of the village. These stories are as familiar to you as your own name. You have heard them countless times, yet they never grow old. They are part of the air you breathe, the soil you walk upon. They are the stories that shape you, that teach you who you are, and what it means to be a part of this land, a part of this people. After the meal, as the stars begin to appear in the vast, inky sky, a deep, velvety black you can almost touch, the drumming begins. It starts with a single drummer, his hands coaxing a slow, steady rhythm from the stretched hide of the djembe. It's a call, an invitation. Slowly others join in, the rhythm swelling, becoming more complex. A conversation between the drums. It's not a wild, frenetic sound, but a deep, soulful pulse that seems to emanate from the very earth itself. It is the heartbeat of the night. Some of the women begin to sing, their voices rising and falling in beautiful, intricate harmony, weaving in and out of the drum rhythms. The songs are of gratitude, of love, of the beauty of the land. You do not dance tonight. Instead, you lean your head back against the smooth wall of your family's hut, and you let the music wash over you, through you. You close your eyes, and the sounds create pictures in your mind. You see the river flowing. You see the tall grasses swaying in the night breeze. You see the ancestors, smiling, nodding their approval. You feel a profound connection to everything, to the earth, to the sky, to your people, to the past, and to the future. Your grandmother comes to sit beside you. Her presence is a comforting warmth. She doesn't speak, but she takes your hand, her skin wrinkled and soft, her touch familiar and full of love. You rest your head on her shoulder, and she begins to hum along with the singers, a low, gentle vibration that you feel in your own chest. This is peace. This is serenity. Your mind is quiet. Your heart is full. The world is exactly as it should be. The air is cool. The sounds are familiar. The love that surrounds you is as real and as tangible as the ground beneath you. You feel your eyelids growing heavy, a pleasant, gentle weight. The boundary between waking and sleeping begins to blur, the drum beats becoming the rhythm of your own slowing heart, the songs becoming the fabric of your dreams. You are safe, you are loved, you are home, and you are drifting into a deep and peaceful sleep. The last thing you are aware of is the scent of your grandmother's skin, a scent of shea butter and wood smoke, and the comforting weight of her hand holding yours. You are carried into slumber on a wave of love and gentle music, and the certain knowledge that you will wake to the same peace, the same love, the same home. The sun that wakes you is not the gentle, familiar sun of your home. It is a harsh, white glare, filtering through cracks in rough wood. The air is not sweet with jasmine and earth, but thick with the foul stench of salt and sweat and fear. The gentle rocking is not the memory of your mother's arms, but the nauseating, relentless heave of a great beast. Your mind is a fog, a thick, confusing mist. Where are you? The last thing you remember is the dream, a terrible dream of screaming, of fire, of a sound that tore the night apart, a sound of cracking wood and shattering thunder that was not thunder. You remember a strange pale face, eyes the color of a washed-out sky, and a rough hand grabbing your arm. You try to sit up, but there is no room. You are packed in, bodies pressing against you on all sides, warm, too warm, and trembling. A low sound fills the space, a chorus of moans, of quiet, desperate weeping. It is the sound of 1,000 broken hearts. Your own heart begins to hammer against your ribs, a frantic bird trapped in a cage. This is not a dream. The splinters from the rough-hewn plank beneath you dig into your skin. The acrid smell burns your nostrils. The rhythmic creaking and groaning of wood is a sound of imprisonment. You close your eyes tight, trying to go back, to rewind the world to yesterday evening. You try to conjure the image of your father's face, the sound of your mother's voice, the feeling of your grandmother's hand. But the memories are fragile, like smoke, and the terrifying present keeps breaking through. You feel a presence beside you, a woman. You can tell by the softness of her arm against yours. She is weeping, a quiet, hopeless sound. You don't know her. She is not from your village. You can tell by the intricate patterns of scars on her cheek. A different people, a different story. But her sorrow is a language you understand perfectly. You want to speak, to ask her what is happening, where you are. But your throat is tight with terror, and your tongue feels thick and useless in your mouth. You have no words for this unworld, this place where everything is wrong. Instead, you do the only thing you can think to do. You focus on your breath, just as your mother taught you to do when you were a small child and had fallen and scraped your knee. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. She had told you that your breath was your own, that no one could ever take it from you. It was the thread that connected your body to your spirit. So you breathe, in and out, in and out. You try to make the rhythm of your breath slower than the frantic beating of your heart. You try to make it a small, quiet space of your own in this suffocating darkness. And in that space, a memory comes. Not a full, bright memory, but a fragment. The feel of the cool, smooth clay bowl in your hands, the simple, solid reality of it. You hold on to that feeling, that memory of a simple, useful, beautiful thing. You turn it over and over in your mind, a small, smooth stone in the palm of your consciousness. The clay bowl, a thing of your home, a thing of peace. And in the crushing, terrifying darkness, it is a tiny, flickering light. It is not enough to banish the fear, but it is enough to survive this moment. Just this moment. You hold on to the memory of the bowl, and you breathe. Days and nights bleed into one another, a grey, endless twilight, marked only by the slivers of harsh light that pierce the darkness, and the rhythmic, sickening roll of this wooden belly. Time has lost its shape. There is no sunrise, no sunset, only the perpetual now of this floating prison. They give you food, a tasteless, gritty mush that you force down your throat, your body's instinct to survive overriding your spirit's despair. They give you water, brackish and warm, never enough to quench the deep, burning thirst. The sounds have become a part of you, the creaking of the ship's timbers, a constant groaning complaint, the wash of water against the hull, a relentless, indifferent whisper, and the human sounds, the soft, constant symphony of sorrow, the occasional sharp cry of pain, the listless, defeated silence. You have learned not to fight, not to struggle. You saw what happened to the men who did, the ones who still had the fire of defiance in their eyes. They were taken, and the sounds that followed were terrible. Sounds that made you flinch and press yourself into the hard wood of the floor, trying to disappear. So you have learned to be still, to be quiet, to make yourself small. But in the stillness, your mind travels. It has to. It is the only part of you that is free. You close your eyes, and you leave the stench and the darkness behind. You walk the well-worn paths of your village. You feel the sun on your skin. You smell the cooking fires. You sit by the stream and watch the water flow over the smooth gray stones. You spend hours, days, in your mind's version of your home. You painstakingly rebuild it, memory by memory. The exact pattern of the thatch on your family's hut. The way the light fell through the leaves of the great baobab tree in the center of the village. The sound of your little brother's laughter. You summon the faces of your people, your father. His eyes are full of wisdom and kindness. You remember the stories he told. Tales of your ancestors, great warriors, wise queens. He told you that their strength was now your strength, that you carried them all inside you. At the time, they were just stories. Now, you cling to them. You are the daughter of a chief, the granddaughter of a queen. You are not just this suffering body in the dark. You summon your mother's face, her gentle smile. You remember her hands, always busy, weaving, cooking, healing. She taught you the names of the plants, which ones could soothe a fever, which ones could calm a troubled spirit. You recite them to yourself now, a litany, a prayer. Ashwagandha for strength, chamomile for peace, lavender for sleep. The names themselves are a comfort, a connection to a world of knowledge, of power, of healing. You are not alone in this internal escape. Sometimes, in the deep quiet of what passes for night, you hear one of the other women begin to hum, a low, sad melody from a place and a people you do not know. And then another woman, from another place, will pick it up, adding a soft, tentative harmony. And for a few precious moments, a fragile, beautiful web of sound is woven in the darkness. It is a song of loss, but it is also a song of existence. It says, "We are still here. We are still human. We still have our voices. You never join in with your voice. You are too afraid to make a sound, but you join in with your heart. You add your own silent melody to theirs, a song of your home, of the river, of the stars. And in this silent, secret chorus, you feel a flicker of connection, of community. A reminder that you are not just a single, isolated point of suffering. You are one of many, and there is a strange, sad comfort in that. The journey is a long, slow abrasion, rubbing you raw, trying to wear you down to nothing, but it cannot touch the world you carry inside you. That world is yours alone. It is your secret garden, your hidden fortress. They have taken your body, but they cannot take your memories. They cannot take the stories of your ancestors. They cannot take the names of the healing plants. They cannot take the love that was poured into you for every day of your life until now. You lie in the darkness, and you tend to that inner world with the care of a master gardener. You water the memories. You pull the weeds of despair. You cultivate the small, resilient flower of hope. You do not know where you are going, or what will happen when you get there, but you know who you are. You are Amina, daughter of the chief, granddaughter of a queen, a keeper of stories, a holder of memories, and you will survive. You will hold on to the core of yourself, that quiet, strong, untouchable part of you, and you will endure. You will breathe, in and out, and you will live. There is a change, a subtle shift in the rhythm of the ship, a different quality to the sounds from above. A new energy seems to ripple through the darkness, a mixture of anticipation and dread. The journey is ending, the hatch above is thrown open, and a rectangle of blinding, painful light falls upon you. You flinch away, shielding your eyes with a weak hand. It has been so long since you've seen the sun. Shouts from above, in a language you still do not understand, a harsh, guttural barking. One by one, you are herded, pushed, and pulled up from the suffocating darkness into the searing light of the open sky. The air, fresh and salty, is a shock to your lungs. It feels thin and strange. You stumble onto the deck, your legs weak and unsteady after so long without use. You are dizzy, disoriented. The world is a blur of bright blue sky, deep blue water, and the pale, sunburnt faces of the sailors. You are on the deck of a great wooden ship, larger than anything you could have ever imagined. It is surrounded by an endless expanse of water, a churning, indifferent sea that stretches to the horizon in every direction. There is no land in sight, nothing familiar, nothing to anchor your soul to. The feeling of being utterly untethered, adrift in a hostile new world, is overwhelming. They line you up, men, women, children, all blinking in the painful light, all gaunt and hollow-eyed. The chains that have bound you are struck off, and for a moment, the freedom is bewildering. You rub your raw wrists, your ankles, but it is a false freedom. You are still captives and now on display. They splash you with cold seawater, a brutal, shocking baptism. They scrub your skin with rough brushes, as if to wash away the memory of your home, of your identity. They force you to open your mouth, and they poke and prod at your teeth, your limbs, examining you like you are an animal, a piece of livestock. A profound sense of detachment settles over you. It is the only way to endure this. You retreat deep inside yourself, to that quiet fortress you have so carefully built. You observe the scene as if from a great distance. You see a young woman. Her body is thin and trembling, her eyes wide with a silent, deep-seated terror. You feel a wave of compassion for her, this stranger who is also you. You focus on a single point of reality that you can control. A loose thread on the rough spun garment they have given you. You focus all of your attention on it, its texture, its color. You make it your entire world, this tiny thread in a vast ocean of horror. It is an anchor, a point of stillness in a spinning, terrifying universe. Then you see it, on the horizon, a thin, dark line, land. A murmur goes through the captives, a sound of hope, of fear. You do not know what to feel. Is this the end of the journey, or the beginning of something worse? As the ship draws closer, the land resolves itself into shapes. Trees, but not like the trees of your home. They are tall and slender, with feathery tops. The colors seem different. The green is a different shade. The light has a different quality. It is a world that is utterly alien to you. You are brought to a new place, a bustling, noisy port. The sounds are a cacophony, shouting in the strange tongue, the rumble of carts, the clang of bells. The smells are a confusing jumble of spices you don't recognize, of animals, of refuse, of the cloying sweetness of molasses. It is an assault on your senses, overwhelming, chaotic. You are led into a large, open square, and for the first time, you see others who look like you. Hundreds of them. Their faces a mixture of confusion, fear, and resignation. You also see people who are not like the pale sailors. Their skin is the color of the earth, like yours, but they are dressed in the strange clothes of this new land. Some of them look at you with pity, some with a chilling indifference. You are made to stand on a raised wooden block, alone. The crowd of pale faces below you is a blur, an auctioneer, a man with a loud, booming voice and begins to speak. His words a torrent of meaningless sounds. But you understand his gestures. He is pointing at you, at your arms, your legs, your teeth. He is selling you. At that moment, a strange calm descends upon you. The fear does not vanish, but it recedes, replaced by a cold, hard clarity. You look out over the crowd, to these strange people who believe they can own you, and you make a silent vow. They can own this body. They can force it to work, to toil, to suffer. But they cannot own you. They cannot own Amina. They cannot own the memories of your mother's smile or the sound of your father's voice. They cannot own the stories of your ancestors or the songs of your people. They cannot touch the quiet, resilient core of your spirit. That is yours, and you will hold on to it, fiercely, definitely. You lift your chin, just a fraction of an inch. It is a small gesture, invisible to the crowd below, but to you, it is an act of rebellion, an act of profound and deep-seated defiance. You are not just a thing to be bought and sold. You are the daughter of a chief. You are a universe of memories, of strength, of dignity. And in the face of this unimaginable horror, you will remember who you are. That is your power. That is your survival. And you will not let them take it from you. The man who buys you is tall, his face weathered and hard. His eyes hold no warmth. He leads you away from the noise of the auction block, through streets that are a confusing maze of wood and stone buildings. You are tied by a rope to a cart, along with several others from your ship, a silent, shuffling procession of lost souls. The journey is long, a blur of unfamiliar landscapes. You travel for days, away from the sea, into the heart of this vast new continent. The sun is hotter here, more relentless. The air is thick with humidity and the buzzing of insects you do not know. You arrive at a place of endless green, fields of tall, sweet-smelling grass, sugarcane, stretching as far as the eye can see. In the distance, a large house stands on a hill, white and imposing, looking down on the land, and on the small, crude huts that are clustered together in the valley below. This, you understand, is to be your new home, a home that is not a home. You are given a rough, scratchy dress and led to one of the small huts. It is dark inside and smells of sweat and earth. An older woman is there, her face a mask of deep-set lines, her eyes holding a sorrow so profound it seems ancient. She looks at you, and in her eyes you see not pity, but a weary recognition. She has seen girls like you arrive before. She speaks to you, her voice raspy, but the words are not from the strange, harsh tongue of the pale ones. They are from a dialect that is similar to your own, different, but understandable. It is the first time you have heard a familiar language in what feels like a lifetime. The sound of it, the rhythm of it, is a balm to your frayed spirit. She asks your name. Amina, you whisper, your voice hoarse from disuse. I am Yah, she says. This is your home now. She says the word home with a heavy, bitter irony. You will work in the fields, from sunup to sundown. It is hard work, but you will survive. In the days that follow, you learn the truth of her words. The work is brutal, punishing. Your back aches, your hands bleed, the sun beats down on you relentlessly. The overseer on his horse is a constant, menacing presence. His whip is a crack of thunder that makes you flinch. You learn to work, to move your body in the new, painful rhythms of the cane fields. You learn to be silent, to be invisible. You learn to live with the constant ache in your muscles, the gnawing hunger in your belly. But you also learn other things. Yah becomes your guide, your protector. She teaches you how to pace yourself under the hot sun, how to find the ripest cane, how to bind the stalks without wasting energy. She teaches you the ways of this new cruel world, and in the evenings, in the exhausted darkness of the hut, she teaches you other things. She tells you her story, a story of a different home, a different life, a different loss. And you tell her yours. You speak of your village, of your father the chief, of the taste of fufu and the sound of the evening drums. Sharing your memories, speaking them aloud, makes them real again. It solidifies them. It is an act of defiance against this place that tries to erase your past, that tries to make you believe you are nothing more than a beast of burden. You discover that you are not alone in this. The other people in the huts, they all have their stories. They are from dozens of different peoples, different lands, with different languages and customs. But here, in this place of shared suffering, they are becoming something new. A new people, forged in the fire of this new world. In the quiet of the night, you hear them. A soft humming, a whispered song from a far-off land, a story told in a hushed voice. They are doing what you did in the belly of the ship. They are remembering. They are holding on to the pieces of themselves that this place cannot touch. You begin to share your own stories. You tell the children the tales of the clever tortoise and the mischievous monkey. You teach them the songs your mother sang to you. At first your voice is hesitant, weak, but it grows stronger. Singing the songs, telling the stories. It is like watering a thirsty plant in your own soul. It brings a part of you back to life. You are still a captive. You are still enslaved. Your body is not your own, but your spirit is a flame that they have not been able to extinguish. In the shared darkness of the slave quarters, you and the others are weaving a new tapestry, a new culture, from the threads of your old lives. You are creating a community, a family, bound not by blood, but by shared experience, by shared resilience. You lie on your rough straw pallet, and you listen to the night sounds of this new, strange world, the chirping of the crickets, the distant cry of an owl, and under it all the soft human sounds of your new people, a whispered story, a shared memory, a quiet song. And you realize that they have not destroyed you, they have not erased you. You are still Amina, daughter of a chief, and you are a survivor, and in the heart of this great darkness, you have found a new kind of home, a new kind of family, and you will hold them in your heart, and you will continue to breathe, to live, to remember, and to hope. You lie on your rough straw pallet. The day's immense fatigue settled deep into your bones. The small hut is filled with the soft sounds of sleep, the gentle breathing of Yah beside you, the quiet sighs of the others. Outside the night is alive with the hum of insects, a sound so different from the night songs of your home, yet it has become a strange and steady lullaby. In the darkness, you close your eyes and you do not see the cramped, rough walls of the hut. Instead, you see a firelight circle. You see the faces of the children, their eyes wide as you tell them of Anansi, the clever spider who could outwit creatures 100 times his size. You feel the ghost of a smile on your own lips as you remember their soft gasps of delight when the story reached its triumphant conclusion. Telling the stories, it has become your purpose here. In this place that tries to grind you down to nothing but a pair of hands, a strong back, you have found a way to be more. You have become a keeper, a librarian of lost worlds. The seasons begin to turn, marked not by festivals and ceremonies, but by the relentless cycle of the sugar cane, the planting, the grueling, back-breaking work of putting the cane into the earth, the growing, a time of endless, monotonous weeding under the oppressive sun, and then the harvest, the most dangerous time, the air thick with the sweet, sticky smell of cut cane and the ever-present threat of the sharp machetes and the grinding gears of the mill. Through it all, you find small moments of grace, a drink of cool water when the thirst is almost unbearable, the shared knowing glance with another woman across the rows of cane, a silent message of, "We will endure this." The brief moment of rest at midday, when you sit in the sliver of shade cast by a water cart and share a piece of roasted sweet potato with Ya, its taste a small, bright spark of pleasure in a day of toil. You learn to read the world around you in a new way. You learn which clouds bring the brief, cooling rain, and which ones are empty promises. You learn the language of the birds, which ones signal the approach of the overseer, and which ones are simply singing their own songs of freedom in the sky. Your connection to the earth, the one your mother taught you, has not been severed. It has only changed. Here, you learn about new plants. Ya shows you a small, tough weed with a bright yellow flower. She tells you it can be brewed into a tea to ease a fever. Another woman, from a different land, shows you a leaf that, when crushed, can soothe the sting of an insect bite. You become a quiet student of this new, harsh land. You gather this knowledge like precious seeds, storing it in the garden of your mind. It is a different kind of power. Not the power of a chief's daughter, but the power of a survivor, the power of a healer. Sometimes a deep sadness washes over you, a wave of grief so profound it threatens to pull you under. It comes at unexpected moments, the sight of a mother braiding her child's hair, and a sudden, sharp memory of your own mother's hands in your hair, so gentle, so loving. The taste of a wild berry, sweet and tart, that reminds you of the fruits of your home, and the loss is a physical ache in your chest. In those moments, you do not fight the sadness. You have learned that it is a waste of precious energy. Instead, you allow it to flow through you. You acknowledge it. You honor it. It is the price of your love for what you have lost. You close your eyes, and you let the memory be full and vivid in your mind. You allow yourself to feel the love, the warmth, the safety of that past life. And then, you let it go. You release it, like a bird from your hands, and you return to the present, to the feel of the rough earth under your feet, to the sound of Ya's steady breathing beside you. You have learned that your memories are not a prison of grief. They are a well of strength. You can draw from them and then return to the work of living. You are growing. Your body, once soft, is now lean and hard with muscle. Your hands, once smooth, are now calloused and strong. But the greatest growth is happening inside you. The frightened girl who huddled in the darkness of the ship is still there, but she is no longer in control. She is now protected by a woman who is quiet, watchful, and deeply, unshakably resilient. You lie in the darkness, feeling the slow, steady rhythm of your own breath, in and out. It is an anchor in the storm, a quiet declaration of your existence. I am here, I am alive, I am Amina. and you let the gentle tide of your breath carry you out into the calm, quiet sea of sleep. Years pass, the relentless rhythm of the seasons, planting, growing, harvesting, becomes the rhythm of your life. The children you told stories to are now young men and women working beside you in the fields. And now you tell the stories to their children. A new generation born into this world of bondage. You are no longer the new girl, the quiet one. You have become an elder yourself, like Yah was to you. Your hair is threaded with silver, like moonlight on a dark river. Your face is a beautiful map of your life. The lines of sorrow and hardship are there. Yes, but so are the lines of laughter and of wisdom. Yah is gone now. She passed into the arms of the ancestors one cool evening, her breath sighing out as gently as a setting sun. You held her hand as she went, just as your grandmother once held yours. You washed her body and sang the old songs for her journey, ensuring her spirit would find its way home. Her loss was a deep, aching void, but she left you a powerful legacy. She taught you how to survive, and now it is your turn to teach others. The community of the huts looks to you. You are the keeper of the remedies, the one who knows which roots to boil for a cough, which leaves to crush for a burn. You are the midwife who welcomes new babies into this difficult world, whispering words of blessing and strength in the old tongues as you clean their tiny bodies. And you are the storyteller, the most important job of all. In the precious, stolen hours of darkness, when the work is done and the overseers are gone, the people gather at your hut. They come not just for the stories of Anansi the spider, but for the history. You tell them of your home, of the great kingdoms, the cities of bronze and gold. You speak of your father, the just and wise chief. You describe the vibrant markets, the music, the art, the deep respect for the elders and the land. You paint a picture of a world before the chains, a world of dignity, of freedom, of beauty. You do this not to create bitterness or to focus on what was lost. You do it to give them a past, to give them an inheritance. This place, this system, is designed to make you believe you came from nothing, that you are nothing. Your stories are a powerful act of defiance. They say, we came from somewhere. We were proud and mighty people. We are more than this. You mix your stories with the stories of others. Kofi, an old man with eyes that have seen too much, tells of the Ashanti kingdom, of the golden stool. Nia, a woman from the Congo, sings the hauntingly beautiful songs of her people, songs of the great river. You weave these threads together, creating a new tapestry, a shared history for a new people in a new land. One evening, a young boy, his name is Samuel, asks you a question. Amina, will we ever be free? The question hangs in the small, crowded hut. The silence is heavy. You look at his earnest, hopeful face, and your heart aches. You cannot give him an easy answer. You cannot promise a future you cannot see. You take a deep breath, and you look around at the faces in the firelight. Freedom, you say, your voice soft but clear, is more than one thing. There is the freedom of the body, to walk where you will, to work for yourself. And we must always hope for that. We must always pray for that. And we must be ready for it when the day comes. But there is another kind of freedom, you continue, tapping your finger gently on your chest. And it is a freedom that no one can ever take from you, unless you give it away. It is the freedom of your spirit. They own our bodies, yes, but our minds, our memories, our stories, our love for one another, that is ours. That is our kingdom. And in that kingdom, we are always free. You look back at the boy, Samuel. Do you understand? He nods slowly, his young eyes thoughtful. "I think so. It means we are still chiefs and queens." On the inside, a soft wave of murmurs goes through the group, a feeling of warmth, of recognition, of profound truth. You smile, a real, deep smile that reaches your eyes. "Yes, child, yes. On the inside, we are all still chiefs and queens." That night, as you lay on your pallet, a deep sense of peace settles over you. The path has been long and hard beyond measure. The losses have been immense, but you have not been broken. You have taken the shattered pieces of many lives, and you have helped to build something new, a community, a culture of resilience, a legacy of survival. You are no longer just Amina, the lost daughter of a chief. You are Amina, the elder, the healer, the storyteller, the heart of your people. And in that knowledge, you find a profound sense of purpose, a quiet, powerful joy. You close your eyes, and you drift into a deep, dreamless, and truly peaceful sleep. The world is born anew each morning, even here. Before the sun asserts its full power, a soft gray mist often settles in the low-lying fields, clinging to the sugarcane and muffling the sounds of the waking world. This is your favorite time of day, a quiet in-between moment where the world seems to be holding its breath. Your bones ache a little more now in the cool morning air, a gentle, persistent reminder of the many, many seasons you have endured. You move slowly, deliberately, your bare feet knowing the feel of the packed earth as intimately as they once knew the soil of your homeland. You sit on the small stool outside your hut, a clay mug of warm, weak tea in your hands, and you watch the sky begin to blush with the promise of dawn. A small figure appears at the edge of your vision, silent as a shadow. It is the boy, Samuel. He doesn't speak. He simply comes and sits on the ground near your feet, watching you. This has become his habit. He is a quiet, observant child, his eyes holding a depth that makes him seem older than his few years. You finish your tea, the warmth and small comfort in your belly. You look down at him, and he meets your gaze without flinching. You see in him a hunger, not for food, but for knowledge. The same hunger you once had, learning at Yar's side. You give him a small, slow nod. "Come," you whisper, your voice a raspy sound in the morning quiet. You rise, and he follows. You don't walk towards the fields. Instead, you walk along the edge of the cluster of huts, into the scrubby borderland between their small world and the endless sea of sugarcane. It is here that the wild things grow, the things the overseers ignore, the things that you have learned hold power. You stop and point with a gnarled finger at a familiar, tough little weed with a bright yellow flower, its petals still beaded with morning dew. "You see this?" you ask softly. Samuel kneels down for a closer look, his brow furrowed in concentration. "Yah taught me its name," you continue, your voice a murmur. "It is a tea for fevers, but it is more than that." You look at him, ensuring he is listening not just with his ears, but with his whole being. To know the name of a thing, to know its purpose, is to have a small piece of its power. It is a secret between you and the earth. The earth remembers who we are, even when we forget. You continue your slow walk. You show him a broad, velvety leaf that can be used to wrap a poultice. You point out a type of grass with a tough, fibrous stalk that can be woven into strong cord. These are small things, simple things, but they are a kind of freedom. They are a knowledge that belongs only to you, to your people. A science of survival that is passed in whispers, from elder to child, right under the noses of your captors. You teach him how to look, not just with his eyes, but with his hands, with his nose. You encourage him to feel the texture of a leaf, to smell the scent of the crushed soil, to notice the way a vine curls towards the morning sun. Our stories live on the earth, Samuel, you tell him, your voice barely audible. The shape of this leaf, it is like the shield of a great warrior from Kofi's homeland. When we see it, we remember his strength. You show him a small, smooth river stone. The color of this stone, it is the color of the river that Nia sang about. When we hold it, we hear her song. You are teaching him more than botany. You are teaching him a new way of seeing. You are showing him how to read the secret language of your survival, how to see a world of meaning, of history, of power, in the humble, overlooked corners of this prison. You are giving him the keys to the kingdom within. He does not say much, he only listens and absorbs. His young mind is a fertile field, and you are planting the seeds that Yah planted in you. Seeds of resilience, of knowledge, of dignity. As the sun begins to climb higher, casting long shadows and burning away the mist, you know it is time. The bell will soon ring, calling you to another day of mindless, brutal labor. But as you walk back towards the hut, with the small boy trailing in your footsteps, your heart feels lighter than it has in a long time. The aches in your bones seem less important. The weariness in your soul has eased, because in the quiet, focused eyes of this child, you have seen the future. The river of your people, though diverted and forced into new, difficult channels, has not dried up. It flows on. And the thought that this knowledge, this spirit, this essence of your people will outlive you, will outlive this place, is a comfort so deep and profound, it feels like a blessing. You are a single drop of water, but you have fed the river, and the river will flow on long after you are gone. The sun is high and hot. The air is heavy, shimmering above the endless rows of cane. Your movements are slow, practiced, conserving every drop of energy. Chop, stoop, gather. Chop, stoop, gather. The rhythm is monotonous, hypnotic. It is a rhythm that can empty the mind, leaving nothing but the ache of your body and the heat of the sun. But your mind is not empty today. You are watching Samuel. He is working several rows over, his small frame already slick with sweat. He is still a boy, not yet possessing the full strength of a man, and the work is hard for him. Yet he does not complain. He works with a quiet, focused determination, and as he works, you see him doing the things you taught him. You see him pause for a moment, his eyes on a bird circling high overhead, and you know he is not just seeing a bird, he is reading its flight. You see him subtly touch a particular type of leaf on a weed as he passes, a small, secret gesture of recognition. He is living in the world you have shown him, the world behind the world. A new overseer has arrived on the plantation in recent months. He is younger than the last one and crueler. He carries a palpable anger with him, and his whip is quicker. He forbids the evening gatherings, claiming that idle hands lead to trouble. He has tried to silence your stories, to extinguish the small fires of your community. The nights have become quieter, more fearful. The singing has stopped. But you have learned, over a lifetime of captivity, that when one path is blocked, the river finds a new way to flow. Your stories have not ended. They have simply changed their form. Now, they are told in the fields. A whispered word passed down the row, a shared glance that recalls a familiar tale, a rhythm tapped out with the handle of a machete against a cane stalk, a rhythm that only you and your people understand. It is the beat of a song from a faraway land. It is the sound of defiance. You have taught them that the story is not just in the telling, it is in the living. When Nia shares her water with a child who is struggling with thirst, she is living the story of community. When Kofi, old as he is, helps a younger man lift a heavy bundle of cane, he is living the story of strength. You are all weaving the story together with the threads of your actions, your kindnesses, your quiet acts of courage. The overseer believes he has power because he has the whip, but you know that true power is not so loud. It is quiet. It is resilient. It is the shared knowledge in Samuel's eyes. It is the secret rhythm of the machete. It is the uncrushable dignity of the human spirit. As the day wears on, the heat becomes a physical presence, a heavy blanket that smothers all thought. You feel your own energy beginning to wane. You pause, leaning on your machete, and close your eyes for just a moment. Your breath is ragged. Suddenly, a shadow falls over you. You open your eyes to see Samuel standing before you. In his outstretched hand is a small, pale fruit from a wild vine that grows at the edge of the woods. It is a fruit the overseers consider worthless, but you and your people know it is full of water and a surprising sweetness. He must have risked a lashing to sneak away and find it. He doesn't say a word. He just pushes it into your hand. His small gesture of care, of reciprocity, is a drink of water for your weary soul. You look at him and you see the legacy of Yah. You see the wisdom of your father. You see the unbreakable chain that links you all together. You take the fruit and you nod your thanks. You split it in two and you offer him half. He takes it, and for a moment you stand together in the blistering sun, sharing this small, secret sacrament. It is a taste of home. It is a taste of grace. The overseer may own the cane fields. He may own the long, grueling hours of the day. But this moment, this small, quiet act of love and community, this belongs only to you. It is a tiny, perfect piece of freedom. As you put the cool fruit in your mouth, its sweetness spreading across your tongue, you feel your strength return. You are not just an old woman toiling in a field. You are a link in a chain, a keeper of a sacred fire. And looking at the boy beside you, you know with a deep and certain peace that the fire will not go out. You pick up your machete and you return to the rhythm of the work, your heart a little lighter, your spirit a little stronger, carried by the quiet, unyielding power of your people. You will endure. You will all endure. The night holds its breath. The usual quiet imposed by the new overseer feels different tonight. Heavier, more profound. It is a silence not of fear, but of reverence. Inside the small windowless hut of a young woman named Ilara, a story older than any kingdom is unfolding, written not in words, but in sweat and shadow and low, guttural sighs. You are the calm center of this small, sacred storm. Your hands, though wrinkled and marked by years of hard labor, are steady as they wipe Ilara's brow with a cloth dipped in cool, herb-infused water. The air is thick with the scent of boiled willow bark, a remedy to ease her pain, and the low, resonant sound of your own humming. It is a melody from your childhood, a song your mother used to sing to soothe you to sleep. You had thought it long forgotten, but it rose from the deep well of your memory tonight, a gift from your ancestors for this moment. It is a song of creation, of the first woman who drew life from the earth, and its ancient, steady rhythm is a comfort to the young woman who writhes in the grip of labor. The boy, Samuel, stands guard at the door. He is a silent sentinel, his young face serious in the flickering lamplight. He is the bridge between the world of fear and whips outside, and this sacred, protected space within. He knows his duty. He watches the path for any sign of the overseer, but he is also a student. His eyes keep flicking back to you, to Ilara, to the other women who have gathered to offer their silent support. He is learning about a power that has nothing to do with muscles or weapons. He is learning the power of life. You murmur to Ilara, your voice a soft rustle, like dry leaves. You tell her to breathe, to ride the pain like a great wave, to not fight it, but to let it carry her to the shore. You speak to her not as a master speaks to a slave, but as a mother speaks to a daughter, as the earth speaks to the seed, encouraging it to break open and grow. With a moistened finger, you trace a symbol on her damp forehead. It is a spiral, the sign of growth, of eternity, the one your own mother taught you so long ago. It is a secret prayer, a transfer of strength, a reminder that she is not alone, that she is held by a chain of mothers stretching back to the beginning of time. And then it comes. Not with a scream of terror, but with a deep primal cry that seems to tear through the fabric of the night. It is the cry of a new life entering the world. It is the most defiant sound imaginable. It is the sound of victory. It is a sound the overseer, in his great house on the hill, cannot stop and cannot understand. A collective sigh of relief, soft as a breeze, whispers through the women in the hut. The tension breaks, replaced by a wave of profound, weary joy. You work quickly now, your movements sure and practiced. You clean the baby, a beautiful, perfect girl, her skin the color of rich, dark honey. You wrap her in a piece of soft, clean cloth that the women have saved for months for this very purpose. You check that she is whole, that she is strong. A tiny, perfect fist is curled in quiet defiance of the world she has just entered. You place the warm, squirming bundle into Alara's waiting arms. The young mother, exhausted but radiant, looks down at her daughter and the world outside, the cane fields, the hardship, all of it melts away. In this moment, in this hut, there is only the holy, unbreakable bond of a mother and her child. "What is her name?" you whisper. Alara looks up at you, her eyes shining with tears of joy and exhaustion. She gives the baby two names. One is a simple common name, the one that will be written in the master's logbook, a name for them. But then she leans down and whispers into the baby's tiny ear, so softly that only you and the ancestors can hear. It is the second name, the true name, a name from her grandmother's people, a name that means hope. You feel a gentle touch on your arm. It is Samuel. He is no longer at the door. He has crept inside, his eyes wide with awe, fixed on the tiny baby. He has just witnessed a miracle more powerful than any sermon he has been forced to listen to on a Sunday. He has seen life triumph over death. He has seen hope born in a hopeless place. You look from his awestruck face to the sleeping baby in her mother's arms, and a deep, profound peace settles in your soul. This is the true story, not the story of whips and chains, but the story of survival, of continuity, of a love so strong it can bloom in the darkest of places. This is victory. It is not loud or grand, it is small, quiet, and perfect. It is the unbreakable promise of a dawn that you may not live to see, but that you know in your very bones is coming. And with that certainty held warm in your heart, you know that tonight your own sleep will be deep and serene and full of peace. A new kind of quiet has settled over the huts in the days following the birth. It is not the tense, watchful quiet of fear, but a soft, protective silence, like a blanket wrapped around a precious, sleeping child. The whole community has become a guardian of this new life, this tiny flicker of hope. This quiet is woven from small, careful acts of love. You see it in how Nia, without a word, takes Ilara's share of the mending, her needle flashing in the dim light. You see it in the small, smoothly carved wooden bird, a charm for good dreams, left on the hut's doorstep by one of the old men. You see it in Samuel, who ensures the water bucket for Ilara is always full, performing the task with solemn dignity as if he were a temple keeper. These are the things the overseer can never see, can never understand. He sees only a group of sullen workers, but you see a family, bound by a shared heart, quietly conspiring to nurture its own light in the overwhelming darkness. You spend a few moments each evening with Ilara, sitting on a low stool, simply watching the baby, hope, as she sleeps in a makeshift cradle. Her tiny chest rises and falls in the peaceful, even rhythm of pure innocence. Her little hand, no bigger than a blossoming flower bud, is curled around her mother's finger. And the sight of that small, trusting grasp pierces your heart with a memory so vivid, it almost steals your breath. The walls of the hut dissolve. The air grows warm and sweet with the scent of 100 cooking fires. The dim lamplight brightens into a cascade of brilliant, golden sun. You are no longer an old woman in a slave hut. You are a young girl standing in the bustling, joyous center of your home village. The air thrums with the vibrant, layered conversation of the drums, a sound so full of life, it makes the very ground beneath your feet feel alive. It is the day of a naming ceremony for your new cousin. You remember the scent of roasted goat and sweet honey cakes, the fragrance of palm oil and crushed spices. You remember the sight of your mother, radiant, her arms adorned with bracelets of copper that shone in the sun, her body wrapped in her finest indigo cloth, the deep blue a testament to a sky without limits. Laughter was everywhere, as free and as plentiful as the air itself. The elders were telling stories, their voices rich with humor and wisdom. The children were chasing each other, their feet slapping joyfully against the packed earth. And then the dancing, a great swirling circle of life, a celebration of this new member of the community, a promise of belonging, of safety, of a future held securely in the arms of the people. The memory does not bring the sharp sting of pain it once might have. The grief for what was lost has softened with the years, its sharp edges worn smooth like a stone in a river. Now, the memory feels like a gift, a treasure that you have kept safe within you all this time. In your mind, you feel as if you are gathering up all the light and all the music of that long-ago day. You are scooping up the laughter, the taste of the honey cakes, the brilliant color of your mother's dress, and the unconditional love that permeated that celebration. And you are offering it all here, in this profound silence, as a quiet, invisible blessing for this new child, Hope. She will never see those dances. She will never hear that particular rhythm of the drums, but she will know of them. You will make sure of it. The stories will be her feast. The songs you hum will be her ceremonial robes. The love of this quiet, wounded but unbreakable community will be her inheritance. This knowledge settles in your soul like a deep, peaceful hum, a lullaby for your own weary spirit. The past is not gone. It lives inside you. It is a well from which you can draw strength and beauty, not just for yourself, but for the generations to come. You look at the sleeping child, a peaceful smile on your lips, and you feel a contentment so profound, it stills the very air around you. You have done your work, the river flows on, and you can rest now. You can rest. The seasons continue their slow, inexorable turning. The fierce heat of summer has softened, and now a gentle golden light spills over the fields in the late afternoon. The air is drier, and at night there is a new coolness, a hint of the coming rest for the land. It is the time of the great harvest, the culmination of the year's long and arduous labor. You no longer take your place in the rows of Cain. Your body, a faithful servant for so many long years, has earned its rest. Your joints ache with a deep, persistent weariness, and your breath is too shallow for the strain. Now you sit in the shade of a lone, gnarled tree that marks the edge of the fields, your hands occupied with the simple, placid task of mending torn work clothes. From this vantage point, you watch the life of your people unfold. It is like watching a silent, intricate dance. You see the strong backs of the men, the steady grace of the women, the shared rhythm of their work. They move as one body, a community that has learned to breathe and toil in unison. Your eyes often find Samuel. He is a young man now, tall and strong, his face still holding the quiet intensity you saw in him as a boy. He is a leader amongst the younger ones, not through shouting or commands, but through his quiet competence and his deep, unwavering kindness. You watch as a small child, new to the fields and overwhelmed by the noise and the labor, begins to cry. The overseer on his horse pays no mind, but Samuel does. He pauses his work, kneels down beside the child, and you see his lips move. You are too far away to hear the words, but you know their shape, you know the cadence. He is telling the story of the clever tortoise, the small, slow creature who could outwit the great and powerful leopard. In a few moments, the child's sobs subside, replaced by wide-eyed fascination. A smile touches your lips, a smile of profound and deep-seated contentment. The seeds you planted have taken root. The stories are safe. The fire is in a new keeper's hands. Your work is done. A feeling has been growing in you for many months now, a feeling of lightness. It is as if the ties that bind your spirit to this weary old body are gently beginning to loosen. Sometimes the world around you seems a little distant, the sounds a little muted, as if you are listening from across a calm, quiet river. It is not a frightening feeling. On the contrary, it is peaceful. It is a feeling of preparation, a feeling of homecoming. You close your eyes against the afternoon sun, and the faces of your ancestors gather around you. They are clearer now than they have ever been. You see your father's proud and gentle smile. You see your mother, her arms outstretched, her indigo robes the color of twilight. You see Yah, her knowing eyes full of a weary, welcoming love. They are not ghosts from a distant past. They are a welcoming party, waiting for you on the far shore. Amina, you open your eyes. Samuel is standing before you, his face etched with concern as he looks at you. He has finished his work for the day and has come to walk you back to the huts. You are tired, he says softly. It is a statement, not a question. Yes, child, you reply, your voice a thin whisper. A good kind of tired. The tired you feel when a long journey is almost at an end. He helps you to your feet, his strong young arm supporting your frail one. As you walk the well-worn path back towards the small cluster of dwellings, you speak to him, your voice gathering a little of its old strength. Do not be sad for me, Samuel, you say, looking at the setting sun, which is painting the sky in glorious streaks of orange and purple. A long time ago, I thought my life was over when it had just begun. I thought they had taken everything, but they were wrong. You pause, taking a slow breath. A person is like a seed. They can be stolen from their home ground, thrown into a dark and difficult place. But if that seed holds life, it will grow. It will reach for the sun, and it will make its own seeds and scatter them. That is the only victory that matters. You look at him, your eyes clear and calm. You are my harvest, Samuel. You and Ilara's hope, and all the children who know the old songs. My spirit will live on in all of you. My journey does not end. It simply merges with the great river. He does not speak, but you see in his eyes that he understands. He sees that you are not afraid. You are not despairing. You are simply going home. And as you reach the door of your quiet hut, a profound peace settles over you, as soft and as complete as the coming night. You are ready. The deepest part of the night has come. It is the hour of profound stillness, when the world outside is a velvet darkness and the only sounds are the soft sighs of sleeping souls. You lie on your pallet and you are aware of your own breath, a shallow tide, so quiet it barely stirs the air around you. A great and peaceful calm has settled within you. The aches and pains of your long life, the constant companions of your weary body, have begun to fade. The feeling of the rough straw pallet beneath you starts to dissolve, and the distant, familiar sound of the night crickets becomes a gentle, fading hum. You are letting go, piece by piece, like a boat untying its moorings to drift out on a calm, moonlit sea. And as the sounds of this world recede, new sounds begin to rise in their place. At first it was faint, a soft, rhythmic thudding. Thud, thud, thud. It is a sound from the deepest part of your memory, the sound of yams being pounded for the evening meal, the sound of your home, the sound of peace. You are no longer in the hut. You are walking. Your feet are bare on cool, familiar earth, and the path is lit by a canopy of stars so bright and so close, you feel you could reach up and touch them. The air is sweet with the scent of jasmine and the rich, dark soil you have longed for all your years. Ahead, through a grove of great silent baobab trees, you see a gentle light. You walk towards it, your steps light, your body free from its long burden of age and sorrow. You come to the bank of a river. It is not the terrifying, churning ocean of your capture, but a slow, peaceful stream, its surface like dark, polished glass, reflecting the diamond light of the stars. And on the other side, bathed in a glow softer than moonlight, warmer than sunshine, they are waiting. Your breath catches in a sigh of pure recognition. It is them, all of them. Your father stands tall and proud, his face serene. Your grandmother holds out a hand, her palm open in welcome. Ya is there, her weary eyes finally at rest, a small, knowing smile on her lips. And your mother, she is just as you have always remembered her, radiant and beautiful, her smile holding all the love in the universe. There are no words, none are needed. Their love, their welcome, their pride. It flows across the water like a tangible warmth, wrapping around you, calling you home. You take a step into the river. The water is not cold. It is a soothing, comforting embrace, washing away the last remnants of hardship, the last scars of your long exile. With each step, you feel lighter, freer, happier than you have felt since you were a small child, safe in your mother's arms. You are halfway across now. The light from the far shore envelops you. The faces of your loved ones are clear, and their love is the only reality. The last thought that registers in your consciousness is not a thought at all, but a feeling, a perfect, complete, and final knowing. You are home. The sun rises, casting its first golden rays over the fields of sugarcane. A new day begins. Samuel, his face still holding the peace of sleep, pushes aside the cloth flap of your hut to bring you your morning tea. He sees you. He knows in an instant that you are gone. He sees the profound peace on your face, the slight, gentle smile on your lips. He knows you did not die in a place of sorrow. You simply arrived where you were going. A great sadness wells in him, a deep and aching loss. But beneath it, like a strong, steady current, is a deep, calm understanding. He remembers your words. My journey does not end. It simply merges with the great river. He stands there for a long moment, honoring your memory. Then he slowly backs out of the hut and steps into the morning light. The sun warms his face. He takes a deep breath of the new day. He can feel the stories, the songs, the names of the plants, the wisdom of the ancestors. All of it living inside him, a sacred fire, a precious inheritance, a duty he will carry with love and with pride. He looks out over the plantation, at the people beginning to stir for another day of labor. But he sees not only a place of bondage, he sees a community, a family, a people whose spirit could not be broken, and he knows his purpose. The river flows on, and now your bed is cool and inviting, a safe harbor at the end of a long and satisfying day. You pull the clean, crisp sheets up, and the weight of the blankets is a comforting pressure, a feeling of security, of being held. Let go of the day now, just let it all drift away. Any thoughts that come into your mind are like soft, puffy clouds, and you can simply watch them float by and disappear over the horizon. Your only focus now is the gentle, easy rhythm of your own breathing. Feel your chest rise softly and fall. A slow, steady, peaceful rhythm, a lullaby for your body. You are so very safe and so deeply relaxed. Your limbs feel heavy and warm, sinking into a state of profound rest. Any tension in your shoulders, your neck, your jaw just melts away, leaving only a feeling of soft, easy comfort. There is only this moment. This is quiet, this deep, deep calm. Allow my voice to become just a gentle sound in the distance, a soft, meaningless hum, a fading echo. It is a sound that will carry you gently as you drift and float, deeper and deeper now, down into a truly peaceful, healing, and restorative sleep. Rest now. Rest.